everyone. Welcome back to Fractures of Reality. In the last session, we killed the king, but it wasn't really the king, but, we technically killed a king, so, well, he wasn't really a king either, he was a fake king, but that does
We
have
killed a
king in the
dude.
title.
We killed a dude.
Did we actually kill him?
I don't
I
think
we even
so.
did that. We took him alive.
Yeah, I mean, but the king is dead, though.
Wow, so like this entire development that we have caused, we have not even caused technically. So weird how this works.
But yeah, it's not your fault, but the king is dead. And you guys were going to kill him. Like, you guys went in there with the intent of killing the fake king, who is
Not
still a
all
king
of
in
us.
title.
Not all of us.
I just realized I was muted that entire time.
Oh, whoop.
Well, now you know.
Not all of us.
Alright, so I've confirmed that everyone's coming through on the stream, so let's begin. Last session we had Korax give his thrilling speech, and this session he gets to roll his persuasion check with Eagle Splendor and Bardic Inspiration.
In she and her, and yes.
You know what I mean. And I was saying he because you are a guy.
Yeah. Alright.
So I believe that means you get advantage and then a d10.
Yep. I've got that all punched in. Alright.
Does the D10 get an advantage?
Okay, so that's 31 total.
Alright. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
So, the crowd believes you. They all look around, they all look to you and look to the figure that you've dragged out. And they all looked shocked, horrified, and scared.
Remember the speech went on and on about how they should not panic and remain calm.
That doesn't mean they're not going to be scared.
Oh yeah, it's okay to be scared.
And you're not letting me finish. So, the crowd all share glances and murmurings begin to echo out and begin to grow louder and louder before starting to die away. And then the crowd disperses, and they all immediately begin to briskly head to their homes. Within 5 short minutes, the only people left in the area are you and the guards.
All right. Crisis managed somewhat.
I know Alex. I know Alex and I came up with that plan together, but I seriously had my doubts that it was going to work.
What exactly was your plan there? The knight you met in the castle walked over to you guys.
In our plan was to tell them what would happen and urge them to remain calm to avoid chaos.
Using the Moonblade.
He looks to you all and then he says, I mean, they're civilians. They weren't ever going to go crazy. They're not the issue. It's the nobles that you gotta watch out for.
Indeed.
But in
Did any of the nobles hear that speech?
You don't...
Did they, DM?
Roll a perception check because you guys weren't looking for it, so you have to see if you even saw any. You did see one or two, and their expressions were a little different. They looked excited. And they rushed off just like everyone else with the crowd.
Of the nobles, who do I think would have mustered the biggest force?
I can't remember the name I gave you because you asked this question last week, but I mentioned a mercantile elf who has gotten most of the soldiers on his hire now.
And would I know where he lives?
In the high class circle. Basically in the area just around here-ish, near the library.
Yeah. If nothing else, well, then that is where we're going to go next.
Now just hold on. Before you go anywhere, the knight calls to you. What exactly do you intend to do?
I'm going to talk with him.
While dragging a criminal behind you.
Oh no, the criminal's all yours, and I kind of just toss him a spave at him.
Alright, he gives a half-hearted salute and then motions to the guards and says, "Alright, let's get him to the guard tower and put him in a jail cell while we figure out when to do his trial." And they all nod and they begin to head on their way. They weren't really interested in you so much as your prisoner, because they do need a person to convict.
And now they have it. Yeah, like.
Better,
Truth
better,
is. No, go on.
better him than Grandpa.
The truth is, I couldn't care less who. I couldn't care less who takes over the city afterward. The important thing is to keep the people out of harm's way.
Perhaps that's something you should care about, dear. Jezebel says, crossing arms over her chest, giving Corax a look. After all, depending on who's going to take over next will probably dictate the stability of this entire city. And to be fair, dear, you did show everybody that blade. So technically speaking, this could have been seen as a way of you, let's say, announcing your candidacy.
Don't.
She just
Don't
smirks.
about that, please.
I'm just saying, dear, you did just go in front of an entire crowd, holding up a blade held high like a heroine, excuse me, and basically telling everybody not to panic.
Politics.
Cicada?
I'm just saying, dear.
Cicada, guys,
I don't even
please.
want to think
Guys,
about that right
please.
now.
Guys, please. Cicada, are you heading to the outskirts of the town?
I'm heading back to the house.
As you head back to the house, you see Fox's mother leading a large army of, I think I said it was around 10,000, back towards the city. And from a distance, it does indeed look like an invading army.
I've already told everyone what's actually going on, so.
I know, I'm just pointing that out, because Cicada would be able to see that.
Be able to go over and talk to her, or?
Yeah, you can walk over and talk to her.
Okay. I fly over and wave. Hey.
Ah yes, good day. How is the
Hi.
city?
Okay. So the city is okay. Dragon hatched. It's gone off back to its parents.
That's good.
I got the stone.
That's
So
very
that's
good.
also good. I was
Excellent.
planning on I was planning on using it to create a barrier underground to stop the mass teleportation spell. Because that's what the Drow are going to do. They're going to do a mass teleportation spell in the city.
I'd imagine they were probably going to use that stone to power it, which you have, so I doubt that is something we need to worry about at this point.
Still, better safe than sorry, in my opinion. But I think Korax and the others managed to help settle down the city a bit.
Oh.
Since the yeah,
Roll me an insight really quick.
okay. Insight 20.
She says, "Oh, that's good. I'm glad to hear that the city is nice and calm." You get the impression that while she's trying to and say everything is fine, she's under the impression that everything is not fine.
Well, she's trying to what?
She's trying to keep you calm, but she's of the opinion that everything is not fine.
Right.
You know
That-
how when someone buys you a gift and you don't really like it, but you say, "Oh, it's lovely, thank you so much." It's basically like that. Like hate means you say something nice to soothe the person, but you don't actually mean it.
Oh. Well, I'm sure Korax is trying her best to keep things under control before you arrive.
Yes, yes. Well,
Because at the moment your army kind of looks like an invading force, and
yes,
that's what some people are worried about.
yes, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. That'll be very helpful. She hasn't stopped walking, by the way. They're still marching.
Okay.
Well, I gotta
I'm
keep the
gonna...
army moving. No offense to you, but if I stop, then the entire army has to stop, and it'll take us a while to get moving again.
Okay. I'll figure something out with the stone.
Yes.
See you then.
Yes, I will retrieve it later. I've got to get the army into the town so we can keep order.
Okay. Fair
And
enough.
that's all she says.
Okay, I'm heading back to the house now.
Alright, Korax and everyone else.
So we get to make sure Noble doesn't cause a uprising then.
Something like that.
Well, shall we go visit?
Not sure
shall.
that's smart, but
I need, and I want this to end with it as little bloodshed as possible.
we can try, dear. Thing is, though, do you have anybody in mind who could probably take over running the city besides yourself?
Her mother?
Very funny.
I'll take that as a no.
You see, dear, I understand that you want to go talk to all these nobles. Thing is, there are probably quite a few. Not only that, but the fact of the matter is that everybody knows there's no longer, which means there might now be a rush to find somebody who can rule to keep the order. Means we're on still limited time. Well, even more limited time than we had before due to the possible outcome of that teleportation. But now that their cicada has the stone, I'm pretty sure we don't have to worry about that at the moment. I also not entirely sure it is very smart to go over to the noble's home until we know the person that we're trying to talk to. Unless, of course, you have majority of the nobles in mind and what they're like.
So, what's your plan? And
I'd say probably wait for your family to get here. Technically, we averted everything so far. The stones seem to be very important, but now it's out of the city. So we might have stalled for a little bit of time. Unless, of course, you wish to go see the nobles, then I would suggest probably the one that's probably at least she says in quotations, friend of yours. or at least your family. All I'm saying is caution and probably go to, if you are planning going to a noble, go to one that probably won't backstab you.
DM, is there are there any such such friendly nobles to the LSAs?
You actually have to laugh. Friendly nobles. Now there's an oxymoron if you've heard one. It's elf nobility.
That's what I thought.
Of course, I mean friend lightly, dear. More so, maybe one that can probably be willing to listen to you and perhaps help you figure out a plan. If you're definitely not planning on taking over and ruling the city, or at least maybe your family is not. Somebody needs to.
If you're looking for a noble that will actually see you if you ask to see them, you know one or two. But that's about it. Like, you can't promise anything because they're nobles.
That's always the sticking point.
How about you, Charlotte? What are you doing?
She's just keeping a watch out, and that's all she can do.
Would you roll me a perception check then?
Yeah.
You notice that all the stores, all the shops, everything that was set up for the festival is now closed. And in fact, the Elven Inn is also closed. There's a sign saying no vacancy at the front. That wasn't there when you guys passed by earlier.
Okay, I'm gonna have her walk around the city then, just look around.
The more you walk around, the more you see everything closed off. There is not a single civilian outside. The only other people you see out are guards and the approaching army that's just at the edge of the city, and Valeth is currently heading into the city. She gives you a wave and continues heading towards Korax. The only place that is open is Shady's Tavern. Everything else is closed.
Okay, I'm gonna try to head into a tavern then if it's open.
You see ruffians, people wearing eye patches, the toughest, roughest, meanest people you'd ever expect to see. And behind the desk is this rather burly looking orc who gives you a sort of sneer as he goes, "Oh, hey there, looking for a room?"
No, maybe information. Not sure you guys have anything or know what's going on with the city.
Oh
So,
no, we know.
my ears open. So, why the doors open then?
Yeah, let's just say our business waits for no one. We're not scared of some king death or anything like that. We got money to make.
That's so.
You may roll inside if you wish.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that.
Oh yeah, these guys blatantly steal from their guests and customers.
No, I'll just
Like-
keep an active look on Shiva and make sure she's still with me.
Like, Shady's Tavern is basically you stay there when you have literally no other choice because they are going to try and break into your room. Like the rooms don't even have locks. That's how
Yeah.
secure and safe it is.
Uh.
And with all the other inns currently air quotes full, there's quite a large market of desperate people.
So you try and make money, and hopefully nothing bad happens to you guys then.
I mean, I think we'll be pretty safe.
Do you? Have you
He-
seen war?
He
Have
just
you
looks.
seen fires raging over the city?
He looks to you
Dragons
and
killing down. Never mind. Don't worry about it. Go ahead.
he looks to you and he cuts you off as he says, "I don't care about any of that. I'm just here to make money, lass. If you're not getting a room and you're not getting a drink, then please get out."
She nods and leaves.
Anyway, basically, the only place that's open is the tavern that is actively trying to steal your money.
I gotcha. Charlotte just tries to head back to the group whenever she.
Sure. You will arrive back at the group the same time that Bailiff arrives.
That's cool.
So yeah.
So I guess I can also arrive as bailiff as well.
Sure. It's Valak though.
Valid.
Good day.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello,
I have a couple observation stuff, so I should be possibly good to use it.
This is gonna be big magic though, so I'm going to need all the help I can get.
Well done with the city, Corax. What will you all be doing now?
And DM. So, do you have you remembered the name of uh, uh, uh name of whoever have you remembered the name of whoever whichever noble has won the most support?
No, but I just made up a name. The name is Kanith Nejere, and I will put it in the chat.
Can
Right.
we?
Kenneth Nejere has well won and over most of the remaining guards. You think you could talk to him and make him see that a peaceful resolution is the best path forward for everyone?
So, what exactly do you say?
And basically, I am asking my mother to talk to talk with / threaten Kenneth Nejere.
I would love to, but I've currently got an army to organize. I have to get them divided around the city so that we can make sure order is attained. And then, once that's done, I will talk to the nobles and we will organize a committee to get together and decide the next king.
Sounds good.
I'm stressed. I mean, I'd be stressed too if I had to organize an army
Just don't worry
to
about it.
maintain
I will
order.
handle it. You guys have bigger things to worry about. With the army
Okay.
here, I cannot go and deal with the drow. So I do not know the situation there.
Okay.
And your
Nice.
father has gone to meet up with your brother.
Jezebel snickers with a smirk at the mention of Christ's brother.
Isn't he like captured or something?
Yes, your father has gone to rescue him, hence meet up. I thought that was obvious.
Ah, okay, just making sure.
Jezebel, that's why Jezebel snickered.
Regardless, he will handle getting your brother out of trouble. The question is, what do you all want to do?
I'm gonna get this barrier up as soon as possible and
Alright,
make sure it stays up for the next day.
alright, you do so.
Really? It's that easy?
Yep,
Wow. With this orb is powerful, man.
yep.
Yes.
I'm gonna make sure that the barrier also extends underground.
You do so.
That's the important. Okay.
Just like that.
Yep.
Huh.
Takes you
I
1
thought
minute.
it was gonna be for 1 minute.
Yep.
Oh.
Family
Which
blood
means I have.
sacrifice thing?
Well, Korax's sister was kidnapped to be sacrificed because apparently her blood is good for sacrifices.
She's been accounted for.
She escaped.
Yeah, she's fine.
My primary question is, do we know this?
Yes, you do.
And okay. Do we? She's gonna check for. She's gonna look around to make sure there's no one invisible. No invisible things watching.
There is it.
So Korax, you said the cultists tried to kidnap your sister because her blood was useful for sacrifices. Yes.
Yes.
Would that be the same for your siblings? And you? And your drow have your brother at the moment, so
It was a different group of people. I have no idea if they even know that.
So,
But
your
it's
mother
possible.
actually pauses for a moment and then she says, "Your sister is a bit of a special case. She was blessed when she was very young.
okay.
Jezebel snickers again as she tries to cover her mouth to stifle her laugh.
After we realized you had your condition, we wanted to try and ensure that none of the others would have this condition. And when your sister got kidnapped, we made sure that your other siblings wouldn't. Essentially, basically, Rudy's a little different.
Okay.
Hence why she
Just making
has
sure.
hence why she has the big magic and no one else in their family does.
Yeah, she's the black sheep of the family.
Okay.
I
Making
mean,
sure.
I'd say
wouldn't say that.
I'd say she was adopted, but she so clearly has the family resemblance. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically,
Basically,
I'm gonna.
Rudy's thing is I don't have control of Rudy's story, so I'm just saying it's separate.
Yeah.
Okay.
what I'm saying is that out of character is that Korax's brother is nothing special about him because Korax has wild magic, makes him special. Rudy is her own special case, but her brother is just worthless.
He's an excellent shot and very good with the nobles.
Oh, he would probably be useful right now then. Oh well.
Yes, but
Oh, I never thought
there
I'd
was
hear
a
that.
rather important mission that everyone decided to send him on.
Mm-hmm.
Isabel, she calms down, but she still has some doubts. She goes, "So we really managed to save the city, hmm?" Just like that.
Can we just go and stop the drow from doing it again? Can we just go now? I get the message. We're not wanted here. Let's go.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. She looks to you all and she pauses briefly to give some orders to some of the guards who came to ask her some questions and mentioned that they'd made contact with ex-noble, and she gives them some orders and then they head off. I've just got to work on organizing the city. You all don't have to do anything. Like I mentioned, your brother will be rescued by your father, so that's not an issue. You are free to do whatever you wish. Basically, what I'm trying to say here is don't worry about the Elf City. You guys can do, unless you guys really want to focus on the Elf City. But what do you guys want to do now?
We're stuck
Well,
inside a city that's currently being defended. We probably want to leave it defended for at least a day.
yeah, I'd say we wait a day, make sure that this barrier remains stable, and the spell doesn't go off by then, and afterwards we head back to that barrier that the drow set up and get rid of that.
From what I understand, that barrier won't be existing very much longer. The goddess of magic has a personal vendetta against those drow. I don't entirely know what's going on down there, but she shrugs. You could always ask her.
Yeah, maybe we should.
Jezebel smirks at Corax.
Do you have any further questions before I head out to continue organizing the militia?
Nothing lifts your mind, mother.
She nods and then says, also, if the tavern doesn't want to let you in because they're being chickens, just slam the door down. We can always replace it later. And she heads on out because she doesn't know you guys have a magical
wait.
house.
All right, well, real quick, before she walks away, Jezebel leans forward with a hand over her mouth and gives a wink as she goes, by the way, dear, Corax just announced his candidacy to be ruler of the city.
I
Just
did
a heads
no
up.
such thing.
She did a grand speech in front of everybody at the plaza. It was magnificent.
She glances over and then
I
says,
just told them to stay calm.
she glances over and then says, well, he does have the ears for it. I shall mark it down as a possibility. And she continues walking away.
Okay.
Jezebel just smirks and gives a big old cheeky grin at Corax.
Like, you hear the grinding of stone as Corax turns her head towards Jezebel.
Jezebel just puts her hands behind her arm and just gives a light little skip forward. She goes, you're welcome.
Okay. So I'm gonna continue maintaining this barrier for a while.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing?
Thing Corax is gonna do is take off her white cloak, fold it up, and put it away somewhere. Vengeance has been achieved.
Sure.
I'm just gonna walk around the city perimeter. It seems too easy. And I'm just trying to see maybe for some way or form, my contact might have maybe kind of decided to kind of come back. So I'm just gonna walk around the city perimeter for a little while.
Nope. There is no contact in the city anymore. All you find are guards and Velis militia force walking around.
Is it the Corax's family militia still?
Mostly Korax militia, but there are guards from the city. Like, there were guards walking around. It's just most are currently guarding the royals. And the others are currently dealing with the very important prisoner they've got that they can't let get away at all.
That's all I'm hearing, right? Nothing really standing out. It's just the usual little talk of what's going on so far.
Yeah, there's no civilians out at all. There's just guards and the militia.
Well, that's what I meant. The guards. Nothing interesting or that stands out.
Nope.
Okay. All right then. Since you can't hear anything, it seems pretty legit. I'm just gonna, I guess, just head back. Just head to the inn. I guess.
Clara is going to knock on this inn's door and says, hello, can I come in and play some nice music?
We're closed. No vacancy.
I don't plan on staying.
We're closed. No vacancy.
Clara thinks for a moment. He's like, are you sure you wouldn't want some nice, relaxing music?
They say it once again, and this time they sound a little annoyed. We're closed. No vacancy.
Okay.
Even with God, even with a 31 persuasion.
Fine. I see how it is.
I actually didn't say the persuasion until after I was already saying that.
Oh,
But regardless, all they would say in response is saying, we're not hosting anyone tonight. We're packing up and we're leaving. So we have no vacancy.
Ah. Okay. Clara tells the others, apparently the person who runs the Great Elven is moving out?
Hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't blame them. After everything that's happened, it's probably best to leave the city, for at least for a bit. If I were living here, I'd probably do the same thing.
You think that's what you think that's what everyone in the city is doing?
Well, that's one way to get them out of
To be
danger.
fair, dear, one, yes, like dear Crack said, and two, even if technically the Carts family has it under control, there still will be probably some that will oppose them. Probably best for everybody if they do leave for a bit until things settle, and an actual leader has been crowned or chosen, one or the other. If you still want to keep a royal family, so to speak.
Alright, Ryu, what are you doing?
I guess Ryu's been mostly lost in thought, thinking about that tabaxi.
Okay. Charlotte, what are you doing?
You are muted, Charlotte.
I'm gonna head back to the house. Go stay in the workshop.
Sure. Raichi is there and she greets you warmly. She makes a joke about beating you, but otherwise she's the same as always. Alright. So you guys are going to just mull around and for the day, is that correct?
Yeah.
None of you have
More or
anything you
less.
wish to do?
No, just
Mm-mm.
wasted that.
Not really.
Alright. The day passes.
Oh.
The next morning, there's a large procession of people with wagons, and there's a couple of guards quietly escorting them north.
Okay.
I'd say there's roughly around 400 people heading north.
Yeah. Have I sensed anything happen with the barrier?
Nope.
No? Okay.
This is averted, hopefully.
By this point, the city is under the control of Belith, and she does briefly come by to give you an update that she's currently in talks with the nobles and that they will be organizing some sort of way to determine who will rule the city next.
I think the danger has passed. So maybe we should go.
Back to. You cut out. Back to.
Probably want to check with Vierna.
Cicada, you cut out. You were saying something and you cut out. Back to where?
to the drow barrier.
Okay, thank you. Continue, Clara.
We heard her.
Okay. So part of me is worried about in case like the group gets ambushed by drow, but I think they'll be okay with the forces they've got. What do you guys think?
But we should go talk to Vienna a bit, as much as Cricket hates her.
Also, Cicada. Cricket asked if you're done with the stone.
This. Oh,
If you wish to speak to the one called Vienna, may I please have the stone?
okay, I trust you.
You place the stone onto your staff and it vanishes. Alright. That's all Cricket wanted you to do. You may continue.
Okay.
What do you guys do?
Yeah, I have
Yeah,
an
I
idea.
don't know.
So Corax, do you want to ask Vienna things?
Vienna. You can feel some annoying adventurers thinking about you and considering calling out to you. What do you do? You have just finished your operation in the Drow City.
Has it succeeded?
Yes.
Oh.
And
So what do you do? There's some annoying adventurers thinking about asking about you.
and and I wait for them to ask.
Okay. In that
Did I
case,
get some
everyone, you may continue.
Okay, should I get some divination stuff?
I don't know.
So-
Sometimes she just responds with just asking.
Uh,
So do we even need divination?
So you were gonna get Korak stars, were you not?
Mm-hmm. That
Huh?
too.
Oh, welcome back, Neko.
Welcome back.
You didn't.
Hey.
You didn't miss so much. They're still deciding who's going to call Vienna.
Oh, Charlotte's gonna stay in our workshop. Just we know when something happens.
Okay. Well, what are you guys going to do?
So, are you going to ask Corax then?
Wait, why me? It's not like I have any kind of special connection.
Wild magic thingy magic?
also, you're the only one here who hasn't made a pact with Cricket.
Hasn't.
That's what I said.
Not in this city.
Okay, back to the house so that.
Not in the city. She gives a big old grin and smirks to Corax. That means you're actually considering it.
And it means I don't want to cause more panic, Jezebel.
By the way, did you guys let
Fair enough.
Birkin go? I can't remember.
Well,
Yeah, we did.
I think he's still just tied. I think he's still tied up at the house.
Okay.
You didn't bring him? You just turn him in? Oh dear.
No, we let him go.
I would think would let him go too, because obviously my geese succeeded as far as I could tell.
Yeah, that's right. You
Yeah.
did the GS and then you let him go. Alright. Now that that's done, continue.
It's up to Corax now.
Okay.
All right. Let's get this over with.
Oh boy.
There, Vienna. and and a green pillar of flame strikes right here.
All right.
Good.
Give me a moment to get her icon. Should be attached to this. Nope, it's not. Okay, you just get a picture then. I'll get that icon.
Hey.
Hiding inside.
You called?
Yeah. Jezebel kind of like gives an awkward smile. She goes, "Oh, great."
Ah, Jezebel, and she ruffles your hair.
Hello, Auntie Verna. Didn't expect you to come. To be honest.
Of Vierna. Remember when I remember when I remember when I asked you why Kagura has my name and you said I wouldn't believe you even if you told me?
You found out, didn't you?
Rura.
Brutal.
Of course.
Ah,
But you did not call me here. But you did not call me here to discuss as this headache-inducing time loop we found ourselves in.
no. We were just checking to see if that shield was gone or if we needed to go take care of it.
DM, is the barrier gone?
It is gone.
It's gone, and I got what I want out of the Drow City.
Yeah, you didn't really
It no longer
destroy.
matters.
You destroyed some of the Drow City, but you got what you needed, and you guys left. Like, you don't really.
Yeah.
I mean, do you care about? Would Vienna care about the Drow?
Once she had what she wanted, she would have kind of just left them alone.
Yeah, I figured as much. So yeah, that's the situation.
Okay.
Oh, she's peeking out of the window. Peeking out of an open window. Does that mean there's not gonna be a mass teleportation spell and a big sacrifice going on?
Oh, they're in no position to. They're in no state to be doing anything like that right at now.
Okay.
Did you destroy the tower?
DM, did I actually do that?
Not really. It wasn't near the area that you were going, and why would the Terra have
Okay,
any
hold on. I'm
interest?
gonna DM you.
Let
I
me put
actually
it.
have some mechanical
Let me
questions because I
let
might
me
have to walk
let
back.
me let me ask you an important question. Would Vienna care about a random tower that has nothing to do with her? She knows
Not
what
when
it
she
does.
had a proper mission in mind. Now I'm gonna DM you because I have a couple of questions that I need to clarify.
Oh my god, I wish she'd asked me that. Alright, awesome.
Right.
So, Charlotte, you're in the little workshop. What are you working on?
Whatever goes on. Just my soul manipulation thing.
Sure. What would you like to experiment on first?
I made that list.
Yeah, you
and
did.
I'll go by that.
Alright. I'll leave you to that then. Just DM me what you want. Do you have any other questions, Whitebird?
No, that actually it simplifies things greatly.
Okay.
So, Jezebel, you've spent the most time around Vienna, so you'd probably be the one to notice this. She seems more than you remember.
Like more what?
There's just her presence is just more. That's the only way I can really put it. Definitely more powerful.
Just what kind of tilts her head a second. She goes, you seem a bit on a power high right now, Auntie Virna.
I am never off a power high, Isabel.
More so than usual, to be honest. I know it's been a little while since I've actually talked to you.
Eh,
Should you
well,
be concerned? She says with a grin.
not nearly as concerned as you should have been if I hadn't done this. It's not like it's not like Jorogumo was using it for anything good.
So might want to be careful, dear.
So do you?
Careful. I'm not familiar with the concept.
So do you
Yes, well,
just?
perhaps it's just. Sorry.
So are you going to openly tell them about what happened down there, or are you just gonna keep it vague? I just want to know.
Vierna's gonna keep it vague.
All right. In that case, continue.
Yeah, what I was going to say.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I don't want to interrupt you. What was I going to say? Oh, now I remember. She crosses her arms over her chest and she goes, "Well, perhaps it's just my father's personality in me to make sure that caution is being cared for. The other thing is just what exactly did you do down there that puts you this high, higher than usual?"
And who I put to use the gift dear Korax gave me.
Oh, did you kill a god?
You could say
Flora,
that.
Mm-hmm.
why would she say that? I think that was a bit
Because,
too metagamey.
well, wasn't it shared that it would be that the sword can kill gods if wielded by a god?
Oh, I see. Okay. You may continue then. Sorry, I was just making sure that you. Sorry, I get a bit overly sensitive about
It's
it sometimes.
understandable.
I
That probably
apologize. It's
infringes.
just I get overreact a little sometimes. You may continue.
Okay.
Man,
What was that? Nicky, was that you?
yeah, don't worry about it. I'm just gonna lay down for a bit.
Are you sure I'm about to respond to your DM?
It's okay. We could do that another time. Just
Okay. Anyway, you may continue, Clorix.
Mm.
For reference, Cora just asked, "Did you kill a god?"
Vierna winks, inks, and then teleports away in another pillar of flame.
Jezebel sighed and then she looks at Croc. She goes, "Well done. You just made someone else who's already on the power craze, even more crazier."
I have made no pact.
Makes Cicada a little bit nervous now. She's gonna sit over here and contact Cricket to make sure he's okay.
I'm sufficiently healthy, yes.
Okay, just making sure.
The fact of the matter is that Auntie Virna knows, well, hopefully knows to not go too overboard. But also, oh, sorry, one sec. This is technically what your temporary pact has wrought with when you decided to become, to form a pact with her, dear. So, Well done. You apparently helped her kill the god.
If it was on the Platinum Dragon's orders, I can only assume he had his reasons.
Hopefully. Either way, I suppose this means that apparently the drow are no longer a concern.
They, if Vierna did as much damage as she made it sound, they'd probably need a lot of time to recover.
Part of me is kind of inclined to check up on it anyway.
Doesn't mean we have to go there, Jezebel says with a shrug. If we can go to hopefully the nearest town besides the Elf City, I can probably try to get in league with the local thieves guild and see if I can find any information again. Unless of course you want to go there ourselves and check it out.
Part of
At
me
the-
was hoping that, but... And then she shrugs.
At the very least, I would like to know, what at the very least, I'd really like to know. I'd like to know, what condition the tower is in.
Did you not see the power crazed smile on my Auntie Vierna's face? I'm
She
pretty sure when we get there, it's probably not even going to be completely standing.
did she outright say to us that she destroyed it?
Oh, she didn't need to, dear. Did you not see the look on her face? Oh, excuse me, she says with a sigh. I apologize. I forget that you guys don't quite know her as well as I do. Let's just say that the look and the laugh that she had and the vagueness that she gave says a lot. I can pretty much almost guarantee that when we get there, there's probably going to be a lot of devastation.
I see.
Which is why she grins to Korax. I'm saying congratulations because you assisted her in becoming even more high on power than she already is.
I don't want to talk about that.
Clara looks at Korax and is like, did you misplace your armor?
And and with less shiny armor on, maybe people will go less on about me becoming queen.
There's a little Snickers looking to the side while trying to cover her mouth and her smile. Kind of too late for that, dear.
You'll note that she is no longer openly carrying Galatine. Either.
Well, there's what kind of shrug she goes. Whether you guys want to check it out or not, it's up to you. I, for one, wouldn't mind just a little bit of a respite after what we went through these past couple days.
Did you have anything in mind?
She gives a bit of a smile and glances over to Ryu. She goes, would you like to see your grandfather, dear?
Do you know where he is?
Of course not, she gives a wave. But it would be a good reason to go visit your village and probably Lady Rura.
I suppose the village was at just as much risk as the Elven City was. So
It's a suggestion, she says with a shrug. I wouldn't mind seeing Lady Rura, and also to check up on them and see how things have been. Especially on the fact that I think it might be a good idea for me to tell her about what happened with Vienna. Should probably let my father know too, unless he probably already does know.
if you, I don't know. He doesn't tell me when he's when he's using my eyes and ears.
course not, dear. Remember, he's still a god. Unless you actively call on them, they usually don't respond. And even then, he's probably still busy. Ah, Jezebel now taps her chin. She goes, I'm curious, with that tower gone, are the fractures that we've been dealing with lately been settled? That's a question I need to ask.
There probably could still be some stragglers out there that still need closing.
Chloe's gonna summon her fracture just as a quick test. Or fragment. Do.
It's tiny.
I'm just thinking, cause like, no, I think that was Neki. Yeah, you summon your fracture.
Excuse me.
Okay, so that still works. And then she dismisses it.
Well, it's up to you, dears. I made a suggestion. I would rather not go to the city. I'd rather just get information from the Thieves Guild, especially because she glances over to Charlotte's workshop. Dear Charlotte may have lost her ability to create the fracture, so to speak, and gained a new perspective on things. But the drow also probably know her face pretty well. If she gives a trouble smile, and Tiviana really did go berserk, as I fear she did, they're probably quite desperate.
Well, you're forgetting that they had whatever it is they planned to do. They needed to take a Charlotte to the top of the tower. If the tower is destroyed, then it stands to reason that they no longer have access to the portal.
Well, if it were me, I'd have a backup plan, which is why I like to gather information to see if maybe they are in disarray. With Fiona, I'm pretty sure they are, to be fair, but I can take her word for things. Her vagueness makes it very hard to exactly assume, so I'd rather get on my facts first.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, I'm with
But
Jezebel on this one. She says, poking her head out of the window.
well, they haven't misled us so far.
No, I've been wanting to mention this for a little bit, but the house doesn't have windows on the ground floor. You poke out the front door instead. Just letting you know.
Okay.
Well, either way, I wouldn't mind getting a little bit of rest, especially after the slight panic and disarray that she glances again to the workshop, caused to the poor elf city.
Yeah. My bones are still not great.
She begins to walk towards the house and she goes, Oh, also, dear. She looks over to Ryu. The Tabaski. I don't think we have to worry about him.
Alex, same thing.
Mm-hmm. She gives a smile and then she gives she gives a nod and then a small smile. She goes, I believe he's just like me. And then heads inside.
Although, thinking back, I think when I told Alex about the taxi, it it then it seemed he was when he was telling me that the
Yes. Continue. Ryu?
I I don't know what else to say.
You said you kind of
I
said half a
have a
sentence
response.
there. Okay.
I mean, I heard everything you said. Did you not hear the whole thing? Lola?
I mean, I only heard half of it.
Oh,
Like he
well.
was saying, Alex said something.
I said
Sounded.
when I said when I told him about the Tabaxi, Alex Alex insisted that he wasn't a threat, but he did so with this sort of enthusiasm, like he knew the guy.
Ah, there
Yeah.
we go. So yeah, you cut off on my end. I didn't get that last bit about enthusiasm.
Maybe connections going off because same thing happened with Becca. Becca, I heard everything Becca said, but then you said she also got cut off.
Mm.
Yeah, I also heard her too.
It
Yeah,
might be
it's
because
weird.
I'm over in Australia and you guys are more close than I am. Anyway, sorry
Yeah.
about that. Continue.
Did you say that like to me, Ryu, as I was walking?
He said that basically out loud, expecting at least maybe someone to respond.
All right. Well, then Jezebel over here, as she's about to walk in, she stops and she goes, I wonder. Well, might as well go ahead and take my father's word for it and not worry about it.
At the
Especially on the fact that he did give us the stone. So he was helpful. He didn't just take it.
and it seemed his one and only concern was the hatchling.
Exactly. She says with a smile. Seems he's a dragon enthusiast just like I am.
He even gave me the stone.
Exactly. He seems pretty harmless, so I'm pretty sure we don't have to worry about all that much.
Yeah.
What do you,
if you... Sorry.
Corex? What do you think?
I think if he meant us any harm, he could have stepped in when we were fighting the false king.
That's true. He even helped us back then, didn't he?
Indeed.
He did.
By the way, if you can do me a favor, dear, since you have seen him already, she gives a grin. Can you tell him thank you?
I'll have to. Yeah. Whatever the circumstances are we do at least owe him that.
So as you're saying that sentence, you get a sending.
Well,
So it sort of cuts you off mid sentence as you're talking, and then it comes through, and your eyes sort of go vacant for a moment as you receive it because you then have to focus on the words that are suddenly going into your head. And the sending you get is, "Hey Ryu, it's Elnate, your grandfather. I've had time to think. Would you be able to meet up with me in Appalachia?"
Counting your fingers, I can hear it.
Shut up.
Of course. I've been waiting to see you again this whole time.
You don't get a sending back. Sendings are expensive.
Yeah. I guess that's our next destination then.
Ah, there we go.
Simplifies things.
And it saves us a little bit of travel.
All right. I have no. If anyone has no objections, let's head off.
It'll also be a perfect place for me to gather information. And then she gets sparkly eyes and she goes, I wonder if I'll see Lady Rose again.
So is there
Maybe the
nothing else you
defenses-
guys would like to see or do around the Elf City before you head towards Appalachia?
Oh no, I'm not going back there.
I know. Still, part of
No.
me is curious if we can spot Charlotte's family en route to see if we can pick them up.
Sure, you could probably do that.
Okay. she is going to attempt to keep an eye out for them.
Okay. What else do you guys do before you head out then? Are you taking the horse, or are you going to try and ask Cricket?
We might as well take the horse. Take Star Child with us. He needs the exercise.
Oh, I thought we were taking the house.
We would need to ask
Waka.
Cricket for that.
I think Ryu would have completely forgotten about the house.
Eh. We take a rest for now and then take the horse. That's my thinking.
Okay.
But before that, I need to talk to Jezebel about things.
Alright, go for it.
Okay, so. Hey Jezebel, can we talk in private?
Hmm? She looks curious and then she gets she goes, "Oh, of course, dear."
Okay, so. I've come into contact with Cricket. He's doing okay, so that's not something we need to worry about. But he also gave me some very important information
Oh, about what?
about these magic stones that I have been giving him. The reason why he needs all of these stones, besides having a body, having a body of his own, is to have enough power to stop his brother.
No, I don't know this. Jezebel's eyes wide. She goes, "Brother? Oh, yes. This vaguely sounds familiar."
Yeah. Yeah, apparently he has a brother.
Hmm. This really does sound familiar, and I'm getting a little frustrated again for some reason.
Yeah.
Who?
What was it again? Hold on. It was enchantment and divination.
Ah, right. Do you recall where they're at again?
I do not.
Hmm.
I do not know. And that's what Cricket is trying to figure out as well.
Ah. She puts her hand on her hip. I take it that you want to help Cricket and find these stones,
Yeah, I kind of want to. The alternative is the world being destroyed. So, yeah.
Hmm. I'd rather not have the world be destroyed, to be honest. I'm enjoying it with you very much. As crazy as this journey has been, I've actually enjoyed it.
I want to keep living, though. I managed to escape one world from dying, and I don't want this one to end either.
Oh dear. She gives her some of that look and pulls her into a hug. There's nothing
Uh,
to worry about. We'll figure it out.
uh,
Not a rough hug, not a rough. She's just lightly pulling you in a nice little comfort hug. She knows.
Okay.
She recalls the pain you're in. Don't worry, she's not gonna hurt you. It's not a
Okay.
Ryu hug.
All right. Thanks. I would have talked about this with the others, but you're the one that I
know where the other
So,
orbs are located.
just to stop you there, my internet cut out there. Could you, like, maybe
Yeah,
rewind, like, just a couple of sentences?
it's like we were talking we were talking about how we didn't want to tell Korax about this just yet because we don't want to ruin her trust
Okay.
with her eventual trust with Cricket yet.
Hopefully, there's something there, itty bitty something there. So we're like, we don't want to just snap it.
We don't want to break it.
Okay.
That's
Thank you.
really it. Just wait until we find the orbs, dear, and then we'll give Corax the reason why we're finding them. Because, as you know, we don't know where they're at. And right now, I think Ryu really does indeed want to see his grandfather. So for now, we'll go to Appalachia, check on them to make sure that he's okay. and then I'll gather information not only on the location or the status of the Drow City, but also these orbs.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, of
Thank
course,
you very
dear. I do
much.
anything for you.
Oh. Thanks, Jezebel. I appreciate it. And I'm sure Cricket appreciates it too.
Well, Cricket has grown on me. He's shown so far he can be at least decently trusted. He hasn't done anything against the pact that I made with him or you.
Right. Alright. I'm tired and I need to heal up all of these broken bones.
Oh, of course, dear. She ruffles her feathers and then places a little kiss on the tip of her nose.
Okay. Good night.
Good night. Sleep well.
Alright, while that's
And
going on, what are Ryu and Clark's doing? And Clara.
Clara is petting Horsey at the moment.
Okay. And the other two?
Is it? What time of day is it?
Well, since you guys decided to sleep, it's probably around 10 a.m. Fairly early in the morning, but not early.
Ryu would probably be waiting for everyone to wake up and then insisting we get ready to start heading out again.
okay.
So you guys are going to immediately head out? Nothing else you guys want to do?
Mm.
Not that I can think of.
Nope.
I mean,
Alright.
I would have said to check on Charlotte, but she's not here. So.
Yeah.
Alright, in that case, that'll be where we end this session.
Okay.
Yay.
Well, that was
Alright,
short.
I mean, yes, but you guys wanted to leave immediately, so. And I don't have the next bit prepared, so.
We got nothing else
Fair.
to really do.
But by the way, we added a big thing, Level.
Give me a second. Yeah, you might not have had anything else to do, but that means you have free time. You could have done anything you wanted. I was giving you the freedom to decide if there was anything you guys wanted to do. Because
Yeah.
I'd been giving you quest after quest after quest, and I wanted to give you guys a chance to, you know, have the freedom to do whatever you wanted if you wanted to do something. Does that make
Korax
sense?
is trying to get away from the Elf City before or more people get ideas about putting her name forward. Yeah.
But yeah, that was my intention behind leaving that big blank space there. I wanted to give you guys time to see if there was anything you wanted to do.
Apparently, we can't think of anything.
Well, Ryu did take to that to Jezebel's idea of going checking in on the village, but he was
Mhm.
he was worried it could just be inconveniencing the rest of the group.
She wouldn't have suggested it if it was an inconvenience.
Well, it's no, never mind. It's done.
Alright.
And all I wanted to do was chat with Jezebel a little bit.
But yeah, in that case, I'll wrap this session up here, and next week we'll move to Appalachia.
Okay.
All right.
Ooh.
Thank you all for tuning in. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Bye.